What's up with y'all? It's your boy Diara, also known as D-Icy, here with a new video. And this video is a new type of video, just something I want to try out and see if it sticks and I get some traction from it. And these videos, I like to go over a few topics and my thoughts, just going over things in the art community, as well as just things that I've encountered or just want to talk about, finding your style or stylizing your work, your art, and things of that nature. So while I'm chatting and just yapping about all this art style stuff, please just enjoy this time lapse of some inking I did for a previous piece. You can also catch this piece on my Instagram at _d.icy. And in this video, the topic would be stylized work and finding your style. So if you're anyone like me that wants to work in character design and concept art and things like that, you found yourself always wanting to create characters and draw characters and build your portfolio based off of characters, correct? If you're also like me, you probably found yourself going to YouTube and any other platform to try to get help and education based off of finding your own style or finding your specific style to either gain traction or understand character design. I've watched several art style videos and my conclusion has gotten to the point where the way you draw or the way you create a character or the way you create anything is your style. So walk with me a little bit. Let's say I have a very specific way I draw eyes and I like to draw eyes, correct? That is my style. Or a very specific way I like to do my line work when it comes to art, or the way I like to color things, that is my style. So when we watch these videos on how to find your style, we are simply kind of replicating our own work and our own styles to try to match said artists that we're watching at the time or specific artists that we like. So one main thing I've noticed in those videos where they'll tell you to find 3 to 5 artists that you like, or their artwork that you adore, you go in and find, if it's 3, let's say 3, if it's 3, you find 3 pieces from all 3 different artists and you look at them very detailed. While let's say artist A, you like the way he or she draw their eyes, and then artist B, you like the way he or she draw lips, and then artist C, you like the way he or she draw the head and the body. So with this type of advice, they will encourage you to, okay, draw your character, but incorporate each thing you like about each artist's styles and just incorporate it into your own. So if you like artist A eyes, you add artist A eyes to your piece, and then artist B lips, and then artist C head and body. And then at that point, you have your style. I've tried that once or twice and I've come up with a few things, but in a way I found myself just looking at their artwork and just trying to replicate their style. So once I caught that I was replicating their style, I'm like, all right, it's okay for me to like their way of drawing and all, so let me just not try to replicate theirs, because essentially that's why people like their work, their originality, and that's all it is. Their originality is their style. So my style of artwork maybe hasn't reached that many people, but there's people out there that like my style or would like my style, just hasn't gotten to them yet. In order for me to have a specific style, my originality, maybe I just have to continue doing what I'm doing, just sharpening my skills, figuring out how I like to draw the eyes, the nose, the lips, the head, and the body. Just figuring out what type of line work I like and the way I like to color, and just add that, and like I said, just sharpen it and just making it real nice to the point where the viewer also likes my style as well. It's a very simple thing, but sometimes we get caught up trying to replicate our favorite artist's work because that's the type of art or work, their work specifically, is gaining traction and such a big following. In all reality, we're just looking at their work as if it's a finished product or it's the finish line, when they're not even finished themselves, and they're learning themselves as well. And with social media and everything at its peak, we want to replicate their work to also replicate their successfulness in ourselves, if that makes sense. I don't think I worded it right, but hopefully I can think of another way to say it. Since their style is very recognizable and successful to the audience and whatnot, we want to make our style like that, or be able to create work the same way they create work to get that same audience and success. It don't matter if I'm able to 100% completely replicate someone's work. It's still not my own, and it's still not original. And if they already, or if they were the first to do it and they have the success and everything, I won't be as successful because that type of style was already introduced to the audience. And I'm just piggybacking off of it. Yeah, I might gain some followers here and there, but ultimately, most people will look at my work like, oh, this looked like so-and-so's work. So I kind of made a vow to myself to not try to replicate anyone's style. Instead, I study others' work to see, oh wow, how they colored or how they got a specific look to their piece. Art is supposed to be fun, and that fun comes in the process, you actually doing it and learning new things. I've noticed back then when I would learn something, or I would try to figure something out with my art, once I get it, there's a happiness flowing through me, and I just find myself dancing, standing up, stepping back from my piece, and just looking at dancing, compliment myself. Those are the victories I want you guys to experience as well. Those small victories, when you got 10 small victories, it add up to one big victory because you learned something. You learned something within yourself and you experienced it, you know? I follow so many different people with different styles, and they have such a huge following as well. Some have smaller followings, but it's still the fact that there's people out there that like their artwork for their artwork and their style. Their style is their personality. And it's like, that's what we need to strive for. Embracing our own personalities, our styles, and sharing it with the world, seeing who gravitates to what. And it's okay if people don't gravitate to your style. You don't want anyone to fake like your style, you know? Now when it comes to like industry wise, if you want to work at like Disney Studios, DreamWorks, stuff like that, of course you got to hone your skills to match that type of style. So in that case, it's like being able to replicate that type of style and that work is okay because you're aiming to work at that studio. But back to my style for a little minute. I wouldn't necessarily say, yeah, I'm satisfied with my style and everything. I'm still learning, figuring out what I like and what I don't like. I feel like some of it's also being dictated based on my skill. The better I can draw or hone out specific things, the better, or the more specific I would like my style to be. The main thing I've been trying to figure out and learn to do with my style is maybe the structure. How I like everything to be, how I want to exaggerate specific things. And I think it has to do with what sticks out to me at the moment. If I'm using a reference and someone has fairly big lips, I honestly kind of want to make them bigger, or I want to make sure they stand out in a way. That's my style, and that's all I like. I like to catch key features on something or someone and just make sure, yeah, you see this. This is a focal point or a point of interest. That's what I get, and that's what I learned from other artists. It's my own observation of how they got to a certain point or how they drew something, not drawing it the exact same way to replicate their style, but how did they get to that point and why did they come to that conclusion of how they want to draw and how they want to keep it. So next time you see your favorite artist pose, or if you can go look at their pose now and look at their work, find key features that like or what just catches your eye. If it's the lips, see, okay, I really like the shape of the lips. Are they more triangular, circular, square, whatever, boxy, whatever. See what catches your eye and try to implement that into your work. Not drawing it exactly how they did it, but see what they did, the structure that they use to apply it to your own work. For example, if they draw lips more bubbly and more round, more circular, more exaggerated circular or whatnot, see and try to apply that to your work and see if you like it or not, because you may or may not like it. Why? Because you do not have the skills that they had to make that lip structure that specific way, and that'll give you plenty of room and time and something to work on next time or focus on. Is okay, I like that way of drawing lips or that structure of drawing lips. Let me try to learn how to become better at that. Let me get to a point where I like the way I draw these lips, and then you use that exact same structure for every other piece that you create. That's what a style is. Figuring out what you like, and if you can replicate the structure of said thing and then replicate it. If you cannot replicate it off the first few goes, then that's that learning process. That's your style. You learn. You might learn something throughout the lesson or whatnot. You might learn something where you may do something different than the artist do, and you like that. That is your style. You find self-discovery. You find self-discovery. You find self-discovery in learning and experiencing things. I think that's how you truly find your style, is working through trial and error, what you like and what you don't like. That's how you find your style. And sharpening what you like and what you don't like, what you can do and what you can't do. That's where you find your style. So again, like I said, this is just the start of something, start of a few videos I can crank out every now and then, just speaking and discussing topics or my art journey and things that's just going on in the art community. Please make sure to leave a like, a comment, and what do you think about this video, and maybe comment a few things that you've noticed and trying to find your own art style. So like I said, it's your boy Diara, aka DIC, and I'm out. Thank you. Peace.